Alright, should be recording. Let me just see the clock. Yep, there it is. Yay! So, I am back in Satisfactory because of two things. One is what it says in the corner up there, experimental build, because we got some new stuff on that build. The other is it has been one of those weeks. It's been one. So, let me show you some of the... I've actually already been in here and done some stuff over there. Over here, but I have not done the stuff over here that I intend to do, so that's what I'm going to be doing here. But yeah, so much... Sorry. Just like had something just swung on my throat, forced to call. Anyway. So yeah, lots of stuff to talk about, not just in this. But this is also good stuff. Obviously there's the AMD stuff, and that's... I'm not even sure how many lines I have in the notes here. Actually, it's all of them except for Cyberpunk 2077 being delayed until December 10th. And I will admit, when I saw that, I cheered. Because even though, no, I have not gotten review keys for everything. Like, I did put in a request for Watch Dogs Legion. I did not get that. So that is actually kind of a relief. Right now is insane. Because it's like, there was that, now, there was... Well, technically yesterday, because I'm recording this Friday, and I think that was the 20th. But there was, there's Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and when is that, in a week or two? And Cyberpunk 2077 was also like the week after that. And it's like, okay, all three of those games I'd like to review at some point, and it's like, it's like all three are coming out like right away. It's like, one down, the other delayed, I'm good. So there's still, hey, maybe I'll get key provided for Assassin's Creed Valhalla. We'll see. I'm not holding it up. But of the two Ubisoft ones, that's the one I'd be more likely to purchase, because I've played all of the main Assassin's Creed games and I've enjoyed most of them. So this is one of the changes that have arrived. New model for the refineries. And it also makes them smaller, which does kind of annoy me. How am I stuck? There we go. So it's like all this stuff was aligned so that there was no gap, but now there's a larger gap. So if I do that, you can see on the cubes there. Well, not cubes, obtained prisms. But anyway, there's that, and that's nice and all. But it's over here that we have the main stuff. One is right there. Pipeline pump 2 in here. Let me actually do that. That's also a neat thing. So this is a more powerful pump, but the thing that's really neat about it is if you look, and that is actually kind of funny. How it, oh, that's right. If I place it now, I can't rotate. But you can see that blue pulse there. That tells you how well it will pump, how the head lift it'll give you. It does require aluminum and plastic though. Fortunately, I've got that stuff automated pretty well, and actually I came over here because I wanted to get some rubber, because I do need it, and that's over there, but I got stuff to show. This is new, the valve, so you can actually, and this is what I actually mainly took advantage of when I was in here, is going through and setting it up so that everything is balanced correctly, instead of using wonky things with the junctions. So, this is set to 30 because this can only use 30. That's set to 150, so there's 150 there, 150 there, evenly splits. It should already evenly split, but things can be weird. Unfortunately, these do not snap, and I wish they did. I mean, it's also the junctions don't really snap. They really need to work on snapping for the pipe. So there's that, and I replumbed here. I also replumbed down here. We got this and this. Pipeline Mark II, which takes plastic and aluminum. This 600 cubic meters per minute, so it's double what the Mark 1 pipes here are. They are more expensive. And I do agree, I saw somebody say it would be nice if it was steel instead of aluminum. But in the update video, it was explained that there will not be faster pipes. At least that is the current plan, because 600 cubic meters per minute is the fastest that they can do for technical reasons. I could believe that would change eventually, but probably not for a long time, so no. Just say, no, it's not going to happen, that's fine. But it's because it's like, yeah, there's none faster, it makes sense that you use the most expensive metal plate to produce, which is aluminum. And as you can see, I have another Mark II pipe there instead of, I think it was 3 Mark I pipes I needed to get it up there. More of the valves. And yeah, so I have the output from, oh, well, yeah, okay. So this, yes, it is going from, it should be evenly split between us, so I'm not too worried. And I'm using the valves again to control stuff. And so 30 there. And also, see how the dial there is red? That does actually match this. So if I change this like that, you can actually see it change up there. Which is not something I'd actually noticed before, but that is neat. That it changes live, I hadn't noticed. That it changes that. And I need to be a little careful as I type, because, well, I had the keyboard in the, I'm on the other keyboard, and I'll explain that in a moment. Which means that some of the keys are set to do things like stop the recording. I just went off of that layer though, so don't have to worry about it anymore. So yeah, valves are nice. Mark II pipes are nice. These are what everyone wanted. So this takes, well, 30 megawatts for that. This one. For that thing, and oh wait, no, it is just. It was a different drive. Anyway, 30 megawatts for the refinery to do its thing, which for a while included packaging, or unpackaging, which is what's happening here. It unpackages the fuel and leaves the canisters, and also the, I needed refineries over there to package water for use in this, recipe. But now we have the packager, which does exactly what it says. It packages, but also unpackages, and it does so at a cost of 10 megawatts. So a third the electrical cost, and it's a smaller thing, and it's a little bit easier to produce. 20 steel, 10 rubber, and 10 plastic. This is why I want the rubber. I probably still have enough anyway, but still want to do that. Oh yeah, we also got these. We got ladders. I'm sorry, it is so annoying having to before do stuff like this. Not that I actually do like the walkways, I do like them a lot, but it still is just annoying. Having to do all that as opposed to just, you know, like having a ladder and wheep. It's so nice. It's a little wonky to build it though. Like, it really helps to put down a wall and then build on that because alignment doesn't really want to be nice. Haven't changed anything over there. I haven't even set it. Oh no, I did on one of them. No, I didn't. Yeah, this, I don't remember why this one is different, but it is. And there's no actual difference in performance, but yeah, I could change these to be Mark II, but then I would also like want to double the number of generators. No need to do that, but let's come up here. I completely replumbed this to take advantage of not only the new packages for handling the water, and I moved that over, but also the oh yeah, see, that's what I mean by weird alignment, and I can't get it closer than that. But also we got, look, that's a wall mount, a wall pipe mount. Gotta wait for it. There we go. So instead of it being limited to actually only on walls, now we can use the sides of foundations, but also the bottom of them. So I initially had them actually coming down a different way, but then I decided, ooh, since I can do that, I will hang the pipes up there. So Mark II goes there, it splits out and feeds down to each of those, and yes, I am using the limiter, the valves here, so that hopefully it stays better balanced without having to do wonky stuff with the junction. I am happy with that. And I also set up the 2 reservoirs up there. Or store. Actually, I don't remember what the officially named. Oh yeah, it's okay. And all of these water pumps to fill it. And one thing that I'm doing here, I'm also doing it over there, but I didn't explain it, I'm using the Mark II pipes like this so that, in theory, it should be able to, like, these will still be able to feed that one, those over there can feed this one, just depending on whatever's necessary. This marks the middle of packages, so these are evenly spaced, but yeah, I'm not burning through fuel fast enough to use much water. But yeah, this is definitely, it's so nice having the valves. I would like some improvements. There's still some ways that I feel stuff can improve, but it's definitely nice, and the ladders are so nice. Alright, so let's grab that rubber. And I'm gonna think about some of the other stuff. So, yeah, Cyberpunk 2077 was delayed until December 10th. Far Cry 6 and Rainbow Six Quarantine have also been delayed. I don't recall, I didn't see anything saying when they were delayed to, just that Ubisoft basically decided we're going to give the teams extra time because it's a crazy time. You know, you have some people working from home, and the whole, you know, it's the pandemic. Things are crazy, so we're just going to give them the extra time so that they can do it all. And they talked about well-being in, I know it was in the Far Cry 6. Don't remember. It was probably also in the Rainbow Six Quarantine message as well. But regardless, you know, the whole well-being probably in part translates to we don't want to crunch. Which I just hope that, and I think it will be the case that most people will be like, that's fine. Yeah, I mean, I know that that's how it is for me. CD Projekt Red with Cyberpunk, I mean, you take all the time you need, that they have earned that respect from me. Ubisoft, some may argue not so much, that they haven't earned that level of respect, but it still is I take the time you need. This is a crazy time, so it's understandable you may need more. And, you know, just, you know, do what you gotta do. And is the quote Shigeru Miyamoto's? Or is it somebody else? That everybody remembers a bad release, nobody remembers good patches, kind of thing. It's like if you release a game and it's in bad shape, people will remember that, and you're not going to overcome it. Well, at least not easily. So, yes, you need to make the game as good as it can be when you release it, and then make it better, as opposed to releasing something that's not in good shape and try to fix it later. Oh yeah, I did change this a little bit, just so that that stuff is being sunk now. Alright. I forgot to grab I went over Anyway, as I said, I think I have enough anyhow. It's more the aluminum I'm worried about, but I can pick that up on my way. Aluminum? There. Just trying to think about any other game news. Nothing is coming to mind. Talk about, please. There is, I'll say this much, there is one thing that I do want to be working on, but this has been a crazy week, so I'm having to put that off a little bit longer, which really sucks. But there's a game project that I am working on, so hopefully it won't be too long before that, but it may still, I doubt I'm going to hit the embargo date, let me just, and it's just crazy. So, yeah, I think I don't have anything else to talk about, so get to the AMD stuff. So yeah, I did watch the event, the Where Gaming Begins event, I think is what they called it, or part 2. Was the Ryzen one also named that? Anyway, the Radeon RX 6000 series announcement. And the quick summary for anyone that would care is I'll probably try to, because I've been saying I want to, you know, get one of those new graphics cards to put into the desktop. I'll probably try to get the 6800 XT. Yeah, I know I'd be perfectly fine with a 6800. I'd probably be fine with a 6700, a theoretical 6700, whenever they get to announcing that. But I like the idea of, you know, 650, it's 600 I was comfortable with, 650 I should be as well, especially if there's also a nice game bundle. Because, you know, like, I'm not getting Watch Dogs Legion from Ubisoft. Maybe that'll be bundled with it. I doubt it, because I think that's more an NVIDIA partnership. But, you know, I may get a game that way too. That's how I got to Assassin's Creed Odyssey. And was it Wolfenstein New Colossus as well? I know it was Assassin's Creed Odyssey and Star Control Origins that came with the RX 580 I'm using right now. And it's like, that really, really made me go. Oh, and Strange Brigade, that was the other game that I haven't even played that. But those were games that I got with the GPU. And, you know, if there's another, even just one AAA game in there that's like, otherwise I'd have to wait, probably. Not necessarily buy it, but, you know, wait, because, you know, I might not get it provided. That's, you know, gonna be a convenient way to get it from. And I do like the idea of going for the 6800 XT versus the 6800 because I like having the extra performance, even though it's going to be way more than I'd need for a while, at least until I upgrade my monitor, which, until this thing fails, I ain't getting rid of it. I like this mod. It is very nice. It's just, it's, that. Come on, brain, turn over. I like being able to turn things up to their maximum settings, especially when I'm reviewing, so having a more powerful GPU is desirable to me. And there's also the whole longevity thing, that, you know, more powerful GPU should last longer before it needing to upgrade. So yeah, I said the 6800 XT, that's November 18th? Yes. And it's $650. That's the suggested price. The 6800, same day, November 18th, and it is $579. So $70 difference. The 6800 XT has 72 CUs. The 6800 non-XT, do I have that noted? Nope. I think it's 60. I think it was 12 CUs different, and it is clocked a little bit lower. Hang on, is the thing here? Yes, it is. There are some changes I can make here, but I want to. The main things are going to be down there, so I want to get on them. There we go. Oh yeah, there's that too. I can change. Uh-oh. I just remembered. I'm going to be taking apart so many refineries, which means I'm going to have to set up some storage to hold all this stuff. But yeah, with 6800, lower clock speed, lower power at 250 watts, and fewer CUs, it's like, yeah, I think I'd rather go for the 6800 XT. I'll also be honest, I would like it if I could get the 6900, so that 6900 XT, so I have the full 80 CUs, and it's clocked the same as 6800, which is pretty impressive. You know, it's like, those are going to be very nice, very, very much bin. But I am not spending $1,000, and that's December 10th. No, December 8th. Sorry, that release is December. And what they showed, the 6800 XT challenges the RTX 3080. The 6800 challenges the 2080 Ti, which is very similar to the 3070. Which AMD didn't have one of because it wasn't out yet. And then there's the 6900 XT that was able to challenge the 3090, despite the 3090 being a $1,500 GPU. Yeah, I'm gonna have to change that all. Mess. Oh boy, that is really gonna be a mess. So I have that. At least I'll also have more. I actually forgot about that sometime. But it is also the case that with the 6900 they were using the Rage Mode preset. I'll talk about that in a little bit. But they were using that as well as Smart Access Memory, which is a pretty neat, at least concept, if nothing else. So the idea is, and unfortunately it looks like it will be exclusive to certain things, to certain hardware. I need plastic, rubber, plastic, and okay. Which means I shouldn't need that. Control. Shouldn't need that. Oh, drat. I might need more steel before I'm done. And there is more, but it's on the thing. It's on the other track. Alright. Yeah, so smart access memory is really neat. So the idea is it will give the CPU access to the VRAM on the GPU, which, I mean, that could really, really improve something. Because, you know, you won't have the CPU having to wait. Well, you won't. It will be able to put assets directly into the GPU VRAM instead of having to wait. Or rather just have it bounce off of certain things first. So that really is a big deal. Unfortunately, it is hard to say how big a deal until things release. And there's also the whole issue of, what is it? What? Oh, it's this. It looks like, at least for now, it will be a Ryzen 5000 series and RX 6000 series exclusive. Exclusive feature, and that it, man, I'm really, hang on, let me take this one. Okay. Just occurred to me. I'm doing this in the wrong order. I was thinking down here to get feel for it, but because of the different size, I actually do. The different sizes of the packages. Fine. I'm gonna have to start down here. Alright. Alright, there. Okay. Sure. There. Much smaller, and they also have this different design, which is actually going to drive me insane. For a reason I shall show you. Well, yes. I will show it to you. It's just for how I have things set up. You can't stack these, and the alignment would require stacking them, and there's no way to do that. Why you do this to me, Coffee? So anyway, going back to the GPU stuff. So man, my brain is just bouncing around. So this happens because I got this distraction, which is so much fun. Seriously, I do Satisfactory. It's a very fun game. There. So yeah, the smart access memory is kind of interesting to see how some people are describing it. Like there are some that are upset because of the because of how it's it's locked to certain hardware. And there is the concern that it what? Why is it not? There it is. why I didn't want to take it before. I need to head back. I'm gonna need some sheet. There we go. You know, the potential for it to be something locked to specific hardware, but for now, I mean, it's like, this is something AMD is unique in being able to offer, the smart access memory, in case you forgot. You know, I certainly got sidetracked enough. Your mind could have as well. So it's, you know, I can't fault them for taking advantage of their unique position of, yeah, we can do everything. Which is a pretty neat position when you think about it. Being able to say, yeah, we can do everything. You know, Intel will be able to do that eventually when they put out their GPUs, although whether or not they'll have a feature like this is hard to say. They'll probably try to do it now, though. Oh, yeah, and that also reminds me, the GPUs will also support the direct storage API, which is one of the things being used on the Xbox Series X and S, I would assume, where it will basically give better and more direct management of the storage that your system has. Should is this? I can't quite tell if that is in fact the same height. I want it. I think it is. Yeah, it should be. Yeah, it is. Okay. I want to have the alignment as similar. That way? No, just get rid of that. And there. And get these things powered. There. So those can now be going. And I can be getting rid of them. Just trying to think if there's anything else. I mean, I know there's other stuff. Yeah, so the memory access will be interesting. Yeah, the direct storage. So that's extract. That's the whole. Basically, you'd be able to have the file assets sent directly. I never count. Crap. Okay. Assets sent directly to the GPU and then have it handle the decompression instead of it having the asset hit the CPU to decompress, go back to memory, come back to the CPU so they can then direct the data being sent to the GPU. So it would be much more efficient that way. That's why they want to use it in the consoles. So seeing it on the GPUs is also good. And there's, what was it, RTX storage? Is that what NVIDIA's calling it? That a lot of people took to be NVIDIA's response to that kind of technology. Maybe it is. I'm not sure, but maybe it is exactly meant as that kind of technology. But yeah, so NVIDIA is not going to be alone in that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. We have 2 built, so that's 8 more. That. Four. where might I be able to get some steel beams here? What do you do? That actually might be where I can use. No. But if I have one of the larger industrial storage things, I will be able to, I could take that apart to get some steel, because those are steel and pipe. And now I need the 8 more. Gonna that out. You know what? That is also true. If I can just get there fast enough. Oh, that. There we go. I'll be able to get onto the train and get back there to grab some. That would be easy. Yeah, because it hasn't... Yeah, I'm gonna be... If nothing else, I'll be able to catch it when it comes around. But no, these things always... Boom. Alright. Yeah, so let's talk about the rage mode. Coming back to that. So, I looked at the stream, the image that they showed in the stream of the drivers and it being enabled. It's a one-click overclocking preset. And I have the Vega 64 in the test system for reasons. I did some experiments with it and it's still in there. So I pulled that up, because that's the newest AMD GPU I have. It has the ability to do like the automatic undervolt, automatic overclock, GPU overclock, and automatic memory overclock. But if you look at what was shown for rage mode in the stream, it was not under the automatic stuff. It was under presets. Basically, it was in the same place that Turbo is for the Vega 64, so I'm wondering if it might be more accurate to say that it's a replacement to Turbo. Which, for how they described it, it wouldn't necessarily be that, because Turbo, I'm pretty sure that's a change to the power levels. That allows the GPU to draw more power, and also spin the fan higher, whereas default is the default, and then quiet is lower power consumption and lower fan spinning, but lower power consumption does also mean lower frequency, so it performs slower. But I guess it could be that rage mode will also allow it to like shift some frequency outside of just changing the power limits. I don't know. I'm just saying it is not just straight a change to the automatic overclocking. At least it doesn't look like that based on what I saw. But even though AMD is actually pretty good with being honest with their first-party numbers, it's like they include instances where they win, they include instances where they lose. That you know, we were seeing games where the NVIDIA GPUs were doing better. It's like AMD does do that. You don't see that so much from Intel or NVIDIA. I don't doubt that they still do it. I'm just, it is less common. Yep. But unfortunately, AMD did cloud things because they included, I should also change stuff. But they included numbers where the, like the 6900 XT was being run with rage mode and smart access memory when it was being shown against the 3090. So some of its victories might be more because of that than its own performance. It'll still be at that class. I mean, the difference shouldn't be that significant that's like, oh, now it can't beat the 3090. No, but it's gonna it would probably have fewer victories. It'll be more so trading blows, which, considering it's a $500 less expensive GPU, is still gonna be really good for those people that want one. Like, oh my god, if you want to see something funny, watch the actually hardcore overclocking video with Buildzoid, and he even describes it as just rambling about the GPUs, about the event. Because throughout it, he's like, man, I don't need the 3090, but I want it. And I shouldn't be, I don't want to spend $1,000 for this, but I want it for those 3D mark scores. It's like he knows 6800 XT is going to be so close to it that that's fine. That would be fine for him. But it's like, I want those 3D mark scores. It's kind of sad, but it's like, I totally understand. Which is also sad. You're just having, because it's the full 80 CUs. It's not a cut down die at all. Oop, that's not what. Actually, one second. There should be plenty of the residuals, so I'm not worried. I want to finish up over there. And then I get to replace those with the package. But yeah, it's still that not great. And also the 6800, the numbers they were showing there was with smart access memory enabled. Not rage mode, but smart access memory. But also, to be fair, if you watch the event, they basically, hey, we introduced smart access memory, now we're using that in the test. Hey, we introduced rage mode, now we're using that in the test. It's not like what they were doing was inappropriate. It made perfect sense for them to do what they were doing. It's just you're making these numbers less valuable, or less objective, I should say. I'm just thinking I want to do this. I want to redo so that I have them off of a reservoir of fluid. Because that'll also help with placement. I mean, I have the room for it too, is the thing. It's just I will also be like knocking this out. Hang on, let's set. And by setup, I do. There, and I should actually set up the output, because that I know I can. There's other stuff. It's just, I want to check my notes. There's one thing, but I want to check my notes for talking. There. Okay. Oh yeah, that was neat. Okay. The performance per watt, I want to talk about that. Infinity Cache, I want to talk about that. The RT integration, the RT acceleration, sorry. Total board power, I'll talk about that first though. Well, yes, that goes hand in hand with the efficiency stuff. So AMD talked about how they gave themselves the goal of having a 50% performance per watt improvement, efficiency improvement, over RDNA 1 with RDNA 2, which RDNA 1 has the same 50% improvement over GCN. Okay? And they not only achieved 50%, they actually reached 54%. Though I think that was with them talking about the 6800 XT. Or maybe it was, I don't remember, they might not have named it. Whereas when they got to talking about the 3090, because that, both the 6800 XT and 6900 XT are 300 TBT, total board power cards. Now that's also something Buildzoid talked about, that AMD sometimes doesn't have those numbers quite right because they don't have the monitoring circuitry on the GPUs, unless they've changed that. But it's still, they were talking about how, you know, the 6900 XT and 6800 XT both being at 300 watts, but the 6900 XT being the full, I'm not gonna that up, being the full die basically. I'm just like, that is impressive, guys. That really is. and gal. That they have them both set up like that. That's, you would not expect that. You really would. Yeah, I want to be a little fancy. And actually, I should set it up to use the wall-mounted power socket too. Alright, just go that far. Am I? Just good to me. Am I even? Shit, I can. And let me. Yep. Okay, that's fine though. I can build those. I just need to go and get that stuff. And then I'll just change it out, like after I finish the video. Basically. But yeah, that level of power efficiency, which... Crap, is that my note? Nope. But it was over 60% performance per watt improvement when you use the 6900 XT for the comparison. And that is all design. Because one thing that they stated, just like they stated for the Ryzen 5000 series, it's the same processor as RDNA 1, the current 5000 series. That's impressive. That is very impressive that they've achieved this without having to rely on a more efficient node. It's like, no one can say that's not impressive. It just straight up is impressive. Alright, one. Grab that. Oh, that's right. So what was the other stuff? Infinity Cache. And Super Resolution. Okay. Oh yeah, the accelerator. So AMD is using a different, it looks like a different ray tracing accelerator design than we have, than has been announced, I should say, for the consoles. Well, at least the Xbox, because on that, it was... Oh, I do have the... I forgot. Gonna use 2. Anyway, because in the consoles, it's built into the texture processors, so the texture processors can be told, hey, either do texture processing or do this, or do the ray tracing stuff. This, however, it is the RT accelerators, as they're calling them, are actually part of the CU. So each CU, another reason why I'd like to get the 6800 XT, since it has more CUs than active than the I think that, yeah, that, then the 6800, I know I slightly lost my train of thought there. Sorry about that. But yeah, basically it is going to be more like the RT core design than it seems, which is a little disappointing to me. These are not quite... Oh. That's fine. What's that? I think I don't have enough. And that did not help as much as I was hoping it would. Oh, that's weird. That should not be the case. I may have misplaced one, as I was going down the line. Yep, right here. Okay. So yeah, they were actually one is in each CU, but we don't know how they're gonna work. They just like with the CPUs, there will be more technical information closer to the release. I'm hoping, and it would make sense, but I mean, there are things that don't make sense out there. At least don't make sense to me. That even though it is not an integrated solution like what will be on the consoles, where it's part of the texture processors, I'm hoping that it is still integrated enough, because one of the things that was talked about for the design was that it could be a hybrid approach, allowing it to be more flexible, because it could be, the ray tracing could be shader controlled. I'm hoping that they will still make sure it is set up like that. For one thing, that would make porting easier between console and PC, or PC to console, if it is similar like that. But I also just, because shaders are basically the mathematical programs that developers have to construct in order to do all the things in a game, which is why I really think shaders quality is a stupid name for a setting in Crisis Remastered. I'm not going to let that one go. So having them exposed to the shaders like that, to me, it's like, oh, well, that seems like a very good idea. We'll just have to see if it actually ends up being done that way. I will want this to be this. Actually, a lot. Let me just get this stuff all done. There. That is a little unfortunate. There's. Alright, that's. There. So you and you, yeah, there. Well, no, it'll be. This way. I want this here to help me with aligning things. And then I immediately get rid of it, because I realize it'll actually be two in the way. I need 5 of them. Which is actually all I can have. I don't have enough of the reinforced steel plate. That what I brought with me is over in that container. So yeah, I'm hoping that it'll still be shader exposed, basically exposed for shader work. And some people have also been, because there have been some rumors for what the ray tracing performance will be like, and it puts it at about the level of the 2080 Ti, which does mean, if those rumors are correct, that the performance is only about in line with first generation RT core. And while, no, that's not really great, at the same time, though, I feel like it might be worth, just pointing out the whole, we also don't know yet. It could end up being better, And we also don't know about what kind of optimizations might be possible. So it's for anyone being like, "Oh no, it's not going to be so good." It's like, well, we don't really know. Could it end up being better? Could end up being worse. We'll just see. One thing that has been making me laugh so hard though, because it's like, okay, these are people that don't actually understand. Is people looking at the wanna get right. Looking at some of the comparisons that AMD has shared for ray tracing on and off in different games. Now it's on the other side. And it being like, oh man, I can't see the difference. It's like, yes, that's the point. People, just so many of them are just completely forgetful of the fact that rasterization methods for every single thing that ray tracing will do have been developed on for decades. So yes, in many games, ray tracing will have a minor image quality impact. Very minor. There's nothing wrong with that. That's actually what we should be expecting. I'm off a notch. That line. Nope. I hate that you can't snap those things. I think this might be... Hopefully it'll come, the snapping of these things. And I can think of one way that they could do it. That would not necessarily be ideal, but it would work, potentially. And I would think, I would hope it would be quick and dirty. Would be, actually I do want to be, would be if you let these things be built underwater, and that they do not conflict with building the water extractors, the water pumps. Like, if they just did that, I feel that would... Because then, it's like, just let us, snap to those things, basically. That alignment is correct. Nope, that alignment is not. That way. It is also really annoying that that line is not always visible. Please. Yes. Okay. No, it's not. What? How's that? How's that upset? Let me try this one. Oh, wait, I already have it. That's weird. There. There. Talked about the ray tracing, and I was doing the my standard rant about how ray tracing is not gonna be it's not gonna be an amazing thing. What else? I'm sorry, it's not. That's not how the technology works. Good. Should start seeing it flow down there. Yes, I just realized I do actually need that. That's okay. So yeah, I mean, it'll be very interesting to see what ends up coming with that. Now let's talk about the Infinity Cache. So basically, that's an L3 cache. At least that's what it seems like. Though there are many versions of an L3 cache. For a GPU. So the idea is, instead of having to constantly send out for instructions or data, having to constantly send out, I think, yeah, they will all. Okay, instead of having to send out for that all the way to VRAM, by having an L3 cache, you can have at least some of the stuff. It's only 128 meg, but still it'll be helpful to have this more local cache. It's literally surrounding the die, the actual circuitry that on the GPU. It'll be better to have that, because then so long as it can hit that instead of the VRAM, you'll have significantly faster a significantly faster connection. So it could prove very impactful, and it should be something that's basically agnostic as far as developing. At least I would think so. Like, I would think that the drivers would be able to recognize that, okay, I can just, that, you know, this is the kind of stuff that I can put there, that I should put there. It's sort of like the prefetching algorithms that are built into CPUs. I would think that it could kind of sort of be like that, so it's developers don't have to worry about it, but optimizing for it would still be, you know, a good idea. Yep, looks like that. Looks like all these are working. Have the power all hooked up. Alright, then I guess I won't bother with having them be wall connections. The one thing I will do, though... Yeah, I got it. Okay. Come on. There. You know what, actually, turn it like that. Yeah, I wish these would. So they also do constrict, they're like diodes, they restrict the direction of flow. But I'm going to set it up like this, so that way none of these will be sent more than 60, which is how much they consume per minute, so it should help with the balancing. But yeah, so it will definitely be interesting to see what comes of the Infinity Cache. And I don't even remember where it was. At least I've seen some people, and it could just be, you know, completely armchair kind of people that have no real knowledge of how it works. But I have seen some speculating that it might be as sort of a precursor to setting up GPU chiplets, which does make sense, having cache like that. A local cache like that, I could see making chiplet stuff easier. Oop. I'll save it. It's going down. Come on. There we go. Yeah, and I do find it funny, so much of the stuff is based on 30s, but they're going by 75s, because it's a quarter of 300. You know, one thing I actually haven't looked at. Let me do that. Okay, it does go up to... It just automatically changes. Okay, that one's set. This isn't... Okay. Yeah, so it'll definitely be interesting, and the point it made in, well, the point AMD made in the presentation, that it'll increase bandwidth, yeah, because it's a local high, and going to be high-speed cache, but also that it will reduce power consumption. Because a local cache will use less power because it takes less to transmit the thing out, transmit the information out. So it really is a potentially very significant and very positive improvement in those technical ways. I got more. What else do I? Yes, I think I got more. Oh yeah, the super resolution. So one of the things that was teased as coming are different fidelity effects methods. So most people would be aware of, if they're aware of any of them, the contrast adaptive sharpening CAS, which, it's funny, so many people just, because it was the first and for time only fidelity effects thing, people were just associating the whole of fidelity effects with that exclusively. It's like, no. There is more than that. Oh wait. Yeah, see, this is more where it's like, why do you make me... Why don't you let things be aligned nicely? Well, actually, but yeah, so super resolution, which the way it was described as something to help with the performance impact of ray tracing, which does have some people concerned. Does that mean it's going to be limited to only when you have ray tracing? My own guess would be no, for two reasons. One is that if this is to be the AMD response to DLSS, it would make no sense to limit it in a way that DLSS is not also limited. But it does still make sense to approach it as a way to improve performance after the hit of ray tracing, because that's where you have to worry about. And in a way, you could also argue that that is how it should be set up. As in, in marketing, is addresses ray tracing, because you're going then with the whole, because rasterization doesn't need this kind of approach. Have that kind of confidence there. Why do you do this? Why? Like, just let us stack. Because it's like, it doesn't end up making this more compact if you can't take advantage of. So yeah, having them vertical like this, it's an experiment from Coffee Stain to allow for more compact designs. And it's like, yes, it can, but we need to be able to stack here. Otherwise, it doesn't help because things don't align. But anyway, getting back to the actual thing. So yeah, the super resolution, they said it is in development with developers. So they're not doing this on their own. They are working with partners, and I don't recall them doing anything to like specify who these partners were, and I do mean specify, to be specific with who they are. But they did show several partnerships, like with Codemasters for Dirt 5, which will apparently have variable rate shading. World of Warcraft Shadowlands is going to have stuff. So that's Blizzard and Codemasters right there that may be are involved with the development of this. Far Cry 6 was in this, so that would be Ubisoft. There were others, they're just not coming to mind. Godfall, I believe, was also one. As these will have some of these, it's like the optimizations are being put in, and also it's going to use their ray tracing solution, I want to say, as well. Well, Okay, no, I shouldn't put it like that. I should put it as we'll have optimizations for AMD's ray tracing, which is part of the reason that, yeah, right now we shouldn't be looking too closely at the rumored ray tracing performance. I mean, yes, some. Obviously, you should think about that. Maybe not so much as rumor. Remember, it is a rumor. But that this would be likely with very little of the optimization we will see eventually. So yeah, it's don't look at some of the rumored numbers and be like, oh, it's only going to be 2080 Ti. Yeah, it's a complete failure. It's like, well, that's without any secret sauce in there, basically. Or it might be without any secret sauce in there. We don't know yet, so you should keep that in mind. I forgot to set what they do. And right now, yeah, everything will work. So I can keep working down. But the one thing, and I did make that point, try to make that point in the news piece on the event that I wrote up, is that it's a Fidelity FX thing. AMD has Fidelity FX be open source. So, depending, especially on when, we may end up having a DLSS competitor, at least a piece of technology meant to compete there, that will be open source under the MIT license, which is very open source. I don't remember all the details behind the different licenses, but I think the MIT one is basically, this is out here, do it. Do what you want with it. You can make money off it. You can do all that. These are not in the right spot. Did I also have them facing the wrong way? I may have had them facing. Yeah. So it's like that could be a very big deal. And it's also being open source that may make it it'll make it easier for any developer to innovate on it, to improve upon it. But it might also make it easy to implement. A lot of the methods are for Fidelity FX are like filters. Like CAS is a filter, so that's something that it can be done post-processing. It doesn't have to be done within the engine. And it was funny seeing some people talk about how, yeah, because with DLSS you need the engine integration to get the motion vectors. It's like, well, no, you can get motion vectors out of video. It might not be as good, but it would be doable. And it's also, I've made the point more than once. The DLSS 2.0 sounds very much like it's just SMAA T whatever X. I think it would technically be T4X, with the trained neural network for the morphological engine. Which, yeah, that is still actually really cool, but it's like, yeah, it's not a wholly new technology. It's like that there is something else that it's kind of similar to. Come on. It's so annoying that there's like, oh yeah, we can align it on this, we can align it on this. It's like, I want to align on this. Stop having things so next to each other. So yeah, it will definitely be interesting. And they also might use a different approach as well. I mean, a lot of things are up in the air, but it being open source, or most likely open source, that will be a big deal. And I would not be surprised if it ends up being very close. And I also feel like pointing out Like, if you look at my MechWarrior 5 Mercenaries performance analysis... By the way, how long have I been going? Over an hour. I'm gonna be done soon, though. It's like, I see the end, because it's literally... I'm stopping once I, well, I might clean this stuff. But I'll be stopping. The main thing I wanted to do was change out those refineries to these packages. That was my main goal for this. Good. That looks like the alignment, right? But yeah, with the MechWarrior 5 thing, there were actually different visual effects going on. I spotted. It's like the lighting was suddenly different because DLSS was on. It's like, that's really troubling to me. What the heck? Why? It does seem like they have this maybe recessed a little bit further than they do for some. No? I just have this misplaced, don't I? Yep. That's all. And now I have that Come on. One more. There we go. Oh, that's right. I also want to change out that one, because literally all that does is package. So, you know, hey, if they manage to, even if it's not as big a performance improvement, this Fidelity Effects Super Resolution, or whatever they end up calling it, if it just manages to not change the actual substance of the image, then I'm going to be happy with it. Because that's what I'm seeing the LSS 2.0 do, and I reject that. Just flatly, no, I don't want that. Here. There. There we go. But I will definitely tell you, though, that assuming I get a game that does, that will support it, if I see it's doing that stuff, this way. Well, actually. Yep, that's even. It's like, assuming I get a game that I will be able to see it in, I will look for that stuff. Just because, yeah, there are various AMD technologies I like a lot, I'm not going to give it a pass if they screw it up. It's like, and I know what to look for, because I know what to look for in DLSS 2.0 that disappoints me. Alright, fuel. And back just so I don't fall. But yeah, it'll be neat. And there were other things as well. So there's going to be a Fidelity Effects denoiser for the ray tracing solution, because you do need to denoise that stuff. And I think there's also some variable rate shading stuff, which actually could prove interesting as I think about it now, because it was mentioned using the compute shaders in a GPU for handling creating the image. Oh, did not realize I didn't have that hooked up. Creating the image to tell VOS, hey, this is the stuff that you can render at a lower shading rate. That's the stuff you can render at a higher shading rate. Or less low shading rate. It's like that's pretty neat. Wow, so even that. Alright. I mean, there's plenty of reserve here, but it's like, why not? I kind of lost my train of thought there. I am also just trying to vamp, basically, while I do this. I do not feel like moving those, because those also connect over there. Although, I will do this. I kind of like this. I don't like it as much. But I still do think this is good. Yeah. Here? What do I... The idea is, to basically what I had over there, which is have a store of fuel that I can use. So I'm just also thinking I want to somehow get rid of the extra stuff that I have. That there, that is not enough space here. I'd rather actually pick this up. Too long. Like, I mean, a little bit out, but not. That will do it. Yep. Nice and tight. Then also means I can move this up. Until it collides. Not ideal, but doesn't matter. I can move this over that with ease without any issue. There. Yeah. All right. Good. That work? Nope, not quite. Over one. Wait. There we go. Alright. Better. Run it out flat and then have it go down. Oh, drat. Don't know what it thinks it's encroaching, and I can't see. There's a reason why people are asking for a build view, build camera, where you can pull out and be able to see what all is going on. That might... Yep, it went over. Oh, too far. Here. That is also not aligned. One more. Oh, that's excellent. 2. Oh, here, let's see what it looks like. Okay, that is too far. And this isn't the right... Yeah. Damn it, I was right the first time. Thought I had shifted it. And then... nope. Alright. Good. So that's going to flow in there. Any empty canisters going there. I want to have the support going all the way down. There's nothing here. You're not encroaching anything. There we go. No? Huh? It might just be that I need to be like one further down, but I can't. Right? Oop, come on. There we go. Can also be that I have this. Nope, should not have done that. Oh, wait, maybe it'll work. If I could get just one more notch over there, but I can't. Alright. I'll just be like that. I'll even do that. Although, it's a line. There. And I was expecting it to. Alright, there. This stuff. Alright. This. Do that. Okay. Alright, so these are spinning out. Is it 60 per minute? Yeah. So that actually should be these. Also just occurred to me one thing that is relevant to the news I was talking about earlier. With the Cyberpunk delay, that also means then that the new AMD GPUs should be out in time. Which is pretty neat, you know, especially as someone who wants to get one and is interested in the game. Alright, oh yeah, they also shrunk the size of the pumps. Come on, give me a break. You know what just occurred to me? I don't remember if I made sure that's going the right direction. Come on. There we go. Yes, it is. I think. Well, that's right. Just... Yeah, unfortunately, it doesn't actually give you a way to know which way these things are going. Okay, but it does look like the light points away. So that... Alright, so that covers up there. And I'm happy with leaving it with a 600 going in, because that way it splits it 300 to both top and bottom, and then leave in there. Only other change I can think of would be here. Change this. Oh. We'll Will this? No. I was curious. Maybe it would connect for me. Started getting rid of the wrong thing. I don't need the Mark II pumps there. And this should be, well, yeah, I'll hit the just because I can. And those shouldn't matter because I can't really build those out. But there, so that's basically all the plumbing work done, unless I were to go further with some of the stuff that I don't think I need to. And the best part is that those packages use less power, so I still have the 2700 megawatt capacity, but a lot. I'm using less power. I think I was over 9,000. All right. So this went longer than planned. I still have some stuff I need to take care of. Yeah, I'm gonna need to look around with this stuff. For that. Yeah. Easiest. I have reinforced plate. A lot of this stuff so I might as well just dump it. Or sink it, whatever you want. Alright, that. It's a little funny. Right there. I'll actually hang on. Just this slow enough to do. I'm just gonna head back and then I'll save back there and stop. Ugh. And this is a minor update. This whole thing, this whole fluids update on experimental is technically minor. Update 4 is still to come. That's gonna do so much more. I just, for the context of how much time it took me to change out just this one area to be using the packaging, and then changing out a few of the pipes, doing a slight replumbing. Slight. That really is slight. Compared to what I did over that other area, this is small. So yeah, it's. I'm looking forward to update 4. I don't remember if we know some of the stuff that's coming in that or not, though. Like what new content might be coming. Hopefully, and one thing that is nice with this. Sorry, I'm just clearing stuff on my phone. Is that because these are, even though this is a minor update, some of this stuff is actually pretty significant. So it is nice that they have put it out like this, insofar as it will let them get feedback and hopefully make stuff even better. Plenty of that. I realized I left some uneven there. Don't do that, it confuses them. Whoop, see? that full. Although I'm probably going to need some of that. Because I do want to change things out here. But yeah, so it's a good thing that they are doing. There. Yeah, I don't need to... The only replumbing here would be to change out how this is set up. And by that, I just mean, like, see if there's a different way to... Yeah, that. Oh, so annoying having... Yeah, I'm just gonna leave that. But because the whole, I try to have those be extra reservoirs for that, and it just, there might be a way to do it better, especially using the valves, because those will make it one directional without actually pumping. Alright, but I have to stop. I have so many things I need to do, including eat lunch. That's what I will do. Alright, so, yeah, see you next time. Probably will be a shorter video then. And hopefully by then we'll have some more information on some of the GPU, the AMD GPU stuff. I think we should have some more on the AMD CPUs. When does that come out? Let me look at that. Oh, I never explained about... Yeah, I'm on a different keyboard. There. Spent about almost all of October, a good portion of October, on the Novel Key Cream switches in the NK65. Now I'm on the Boba U4 switches that are in the 1UP keyboards build I did, so I've moved that over. And that's what I'm using now. So it's 60% of the 65%. It is interesting getting used to the change in number of keys and such. I like the creams. I do like them. I am tempted, though. I'm thinking, because I have Crytox 25G0, I might go back to them and lube those. I don't know what switches I will lube. I want to go through all of them first, but I do feel like they could benefit. Because they do feel good, but I think that would help them feel even better. Alright, okay, there we go. I was like looking everywhere except at where it actually says November 5th. So that, yes, by the next video, the new Ryzen CPUs will be out, which means the technical details on them should also be out, which will be pretty neat. Alright, see you then.